UFC 308 and their annual Abu Dhabi card is in the books. With a stacked and hyped card with talent in many divisions and huge fights with implications across the UFC, the main event would see new featherweight king Ilia Topuria taking on BMF champion Max Holloway, while in the co-main event Khamzat Chimaev was making his return against high-level middleweight Robert Whittaker. Could UFC 308 and a stacked night of fights deliver? Let's find out. This is the Fight Franchise and the recap and review of UFC 308. Ismail Nurdiev was up against Bruno Silva, where across 3 rounds, Nurdiev used a whole mixed martial arts game of striking and grappling to control and dominate Silva for a win on all 3 judges' cards. Farid Basharat was up against Victor Hugo, where both men squared off in a back and forth bout where they traded on the feet, with Basharat landing the more damaging shots while Hugo did fire back with his own offense. The fight went all 3 rounds where Farid Basharat won the unanimous decision. Chris Barnett was taking on Kennedy and Zechiku, where off the bat Kennedy was pressuring and landing big while Barnett was going for huge offense in return but couldn't find the target. Kennedy would smash front kicks to the body of Chris Barnett, and then Chris Barnett, who looked injured, fell back against the cage, went down, and the ref stepped in, and the first finish of the night for Kennedy and Zechiku. It did however seem Chris Barnett was his own worst enemy, injuring his leg before the fight while doing jumping warm-ups in the cage. Up next was a middleweight bout between Bruno Ferreira and Abbas Magomedov, where the first round saw a slow-paced fight. The second round picked up the action where Ferreira with more urgency rocked Magomedov, who shot for a takedown and got caught in a guillotine but managed to escape, where Ferreira would win the round. The last few seconds, Abbas did manage to get a takedown and land some shots though. The third round more back and forth action, but midway through the round Magomedov would find a takedown and secure an arm triangle to get the win in a fight he was probably losing. Next up, one of the best fights of the year, Mateusz Rebecki took on Mike Tygbek Oralby, where both guys traded on the feet in round 1, where Rebecki bruised up Oralby's face with a huge punch, swelling his eye bad, where the doctor at the start of round 2 checked the eye, but Oralby was good to continue. The second round Oralby picked up the fight and the fight heated up and went up a level, and both guys bloodied and battered each other. The third round Rebecki dropped Oralby, landing ground and pound where everyone thought it was the end of the fight. Oralby survived, reversed the position and started getting his own offense off, back and forth, where both guys survived to the final bell. The judges gave the fight to Rebecki, and a close but fun fight and easily the fight of the night. Jeff Neal took on RDA, where they had a quick fight where early Jeff Neal dropped RDA and then he got back up and survived any ground and pound attempt, where he got a combination landed on him where RDA dropped to the ground clutching his leg, and the fight was waved off due to injury. Next up, a light heavyweight bout where Ibo Aslan was up against Rafael Caqueira, where the fight was done in under a minute, where Ibo Aslan just pushed forward and backed up Rafael Caqueira against the fence, where he teed off on him with no offense coming back, with Rafael just covering up, and the ref saw enough and stepped in to end a quick fight and bring an end to some entertaining prelims. The main card began with Shara Magomedov taking on Armen Petrosyan, where they had a back and forth on the feet where they traded kicks in a back and forth round which was competitive. The second round more of the same, where it was competitive with the end of the second round coming. Both guys exchanged on the feet. With 10 seconds left in the round, Magomedov threw a spinning back fist which was blocked, where he reversed it the other way with another spinning back fist to KO Petrosyan, who was dazed and confused after the second shot. A great win for Magomedov, who is keeping the hype well and truly alive with fun performances and definitely with this KO. Dan Ige vs Lerone Murphy was up next, where they had a close fight back and forth on the feet, where it was close and difficult to score, but the judges gave the fight to Murphy, who extends his winning streak and remains undefeated and could become a player in this featherweight division. Magomed Ankalaev vs Alexander Rakic was up next to see if Ankalaev could submit his position as the next title contender, or could Rakic throw a spanner in the works. The fight was competitive, where Rakic did good in the first round, but Ankalaev rallied and did the better across round 2 and 3 to win the decision. Nothing exciting, and fails to build the hype going into the title fight with Pereira, which is a shame, but he deserved the title shot regardless. The co-main event was a hype matchup with Khamzat Chimaev taking on legendary middleweight Robert Whittaker, where Khamzat from the get-go got the takedown and was just weighing on Whittaker, looking for the opening where Whittaker was trying his hardest to defend against Chimaev. Chimaev got the hooks in, but Whittaker scrambled, but Chimaev regained control and would smash a huge elbow on Whittaker and lock up a face crank, where Whittaker tapped straight away, which was anticlimactic and no one really saw it coming. We know after the fact the choke and the squeeze of Chimaev shattered the jaw of Whittaker, which is why he tapped so quick. Impressive performance by Chimaev, who could well get a title shot off the back of this win, which is long in the making. Unlucky for Bobby Knuckles, who would need a lengthy recovery from this. The main event saw Max Blessed Holloway looking to get back the belt he once held against a super confident Ilia Topuria. Both guys traded across a competitive first round, where Ilia did opt for a takedown early, but Max got back up. Ilia did good with his crisp boxing, while Max was finding success in the mid to long range. A very competitive first round which could have gone either way, but but I scored it for Max Holloway. The second round, Max was doing good with oblique kicks, and Topuria was starting to stun Max Holloway with punches. It was close and competitive back and forth, but off damage, the round went to Ilia Topuria. The third round, Topuria pressed Holloway, where he landed a huge shot which stunned Holloway, where he was pressuring Holloway, who was trading back with Topuria, where he landed a huge shot which dropped Holloway and landed up follow-up shots, and the fight was over, and the best chin in the UFC had finally been broken. Impressive win by Ilia Topuria, who did fantastic to make adjustments in the fight. He's looking unbeatable at featherweight and could soon become a GOAT of the sport, and may have just stolen the Fighter of the Year from Alex Pereira. As for Max Holloway, sad to see a legend go out like that, but he should definitely go up to 155 pounds for some fun super fights there. That brought the end to a really great night of fights. The card up and down delivered. Yes, it had some low moments, but overall was a fun card with amazing fights, finishes and performances, especially in the co-main event and main event, and even the Sharamagomedov amazing KO. If we was to grade this card, it gets a B+. One of the better cards of the year, which isn't difficult, as to be honest, the pay-per-views have left more to be desired. Up next, we are off to MSG to potentially see John Jones' last fight. Did you enjoy the video? Let us know down in the comments below. What did you think of UFC 308, and what would you grade it as a pay-per-view? Put that down in the comments below. And do you think Ilia Topuria is now the Fighter of the Year? Put that down in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.